So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do side 1. Okay, I've already done a side 1, so this is side 1.2. Make sure you name it, and also make sure that you change your workspace units to millimeters before you do anything. I'm going to start a sketch, and I'm zoomed really far out, and I'm going to click on the front and flatten this out and then get rid of my planes. And I'm going to do a center point rectangle so that I can make the overall surface that I'm going to be working with. So this one is 248 by 110, so 248, 110, and I have my workspace. The first piece I'm going to make is this object right here, and then make the pentagon, and then the last object that you have over here. You can make it whatever order you feel comfortable making it, but this is just the one I think is going to be best for this situation. So I'm going to go ahead and make this, and I know that the center of it's 123, but I'm not really going to worry about that at the moment. I'm going to make the line going across. Now, they don't give us a dimension for this line going across. The only thing that they really give us a dimension that would give us any indication is this radius for this arc. And that arc goes from here all the way around to here. So from here to the center is going to be 36, and from here to that side is going to be 36. So they give us that line essentially is 36 times 2. So they give us the 72 for it. We just have to do a little bit of math and move it around so that you basically have the object and it's in the right position. So I'm going to go ahead and put a line right here in the middle, and I'm going to lock it in place. And I'm going to use this point right here to kind of dimension it away 123, and then away from the top at 16. So then it moves everything into the appropriate spot for that beginning line. Now I'm going to do the arc from here to here and go down, place it, and set it to 36, and it will put the arc on there for me. Once I have that arc on there, all I have to do is fillet the edges, which are at 5. So I'm going to change this. I don't know why it had a ridiculous 127 out there, but we'll set it to 5. And we'll do the same thing for this one. So now that piece, or that little piece is done right now. And I could extrude it and then do these ones, but I'm going to do them all at once. Next one, I'm going to go ahead and go to inscribe polygon, and I don't want to really lock it in place right now. Okay, all I'm going to do is click, place it, and I'm going to make sure that I have it lined up straight like this at the bottom. And then I'm going to click, and I'm going to make it into a 5 or a pentagon, and then I'm going to dimension it away from the bottom, which would be 16. And then I'm going to dimension the top right here away from this edge at 52. So at least now I have it in the right spot, and all I got to do is adjust some of the dimensions. Specifically, it's telling us right here that the line is 45 and that it's typical. That means all the lines are 45. So we're going to adjust this one, and it will adjust all of them for us automatically. So the shape is done. All we have to do is fillet the edges, which have a fillet of 5 millimeters. So we shouldn't have to change anything. We'll just use the same one, and I'll just keep clicking and click, and then we'll do this. And all you got to do is go through this process, and I know it's tedious, but relatively easy and straightforward. So that shape is now done, and it has its filleted edges. Once we get to this last portion over here, it's pretty straightforward. It's pretty easy. We're going to line it up with the bottom right here, and we're going to make a line, and it's going to have a distance of 60. Okay, now I know that you're looking at this and you're like, oh, that's not 60. Well, it is 60 because we're going to be filleting these edges, so it's going to be taking a chunk off. So we're going to set it to 60, and while I'm here, I'm going to dimension it away from the bottom to 16, which it already is, so we just want to make sure that it's lined up with that one. And then I'm going to go ahead and make a line here at the top, and I don't want to lock it into place here, but I'm going to make a line that kind of runs parallel with it. This one's going to be 60 as well, so we'll set this one to 60. And this one right here, we can't really get it into the right spot away from the edge until we put the fillet on it. So we'll do that afterwards. But right now I'm just going to connect two lines here, and then I'm going to set the degree dimension for it to 60 so it moves it, and make sure everything is set. So that one's good too. The other portion is the measurement from here to here is 50 degrees. So we'll click from here to here, set this one to 50 so it will move it for us, and then we're going to fillet and round those edges at 5. And we'll do the same thing here, same thing with this one, and same thing with this one. So now we have this done correctly. We just have to dimension it away from the edge right here, so it's 28. And it's done from this center point of this arc right here, so we're going to go ahead and click on the center point of the arc and go here, and we're going to set it to 28, and it will move it over for us. So now we have all of those pieces finished. So now that those pieces are finished, we can go ahead and finish the sketch. We can go to extrude, and we can cut these pieces out just like this, and we set it to remove, and we'll be able to cut those out. Don't forget though that when you do this, you need to extrude the overall first. Okay, so I could extrude just like this and do the same thing, and that extrusion is a 10. So I'm going to set that to 10 and hit OK. So I have those shapes done. There's two different ways you could do that. You could make the rectangle first and extrude it and then do the shapes on it, or you can do what I just did and make the shapes on this and just extrude this portion. Whichever way is more comfortable for you. And then you'll notice that the edges have a little bit of a fillet on it, and you could fillet the edges out here. I think that, let's see, I think they're set at like 1. So we're going to set it to 1 millimeter. And you're going to do that for the edges that you are seeing like around the front right here. And it's not a massive fillet on these. Although it looks like, actually it looks like, I'm going to go ahead and undo those. I don't want those. It looks like they do a 5 on this one. So it's 10 all the way across, and it looks like it's completely rounded on it. So they do a fillet on the small portions that looks like it's 1. Let me double check in the picture up here. Yeah, it looks like they do 2 types of fillets. Okay, so they do a large fillet, which looks like it is half of this 10, so it's 5. So they fillet this one and this one at 5, so that it's rounded like this on the edges. Let me double check. Or did they do it from the top? Let me make sure. It might be this one that they fillet. Yeah, it looks like it's this one that's filleted. So they do the fillets on these top pieces, it looks like. So that if you go to the side view, it should look like it does here. And then on the side here, they do 1 millimeter fillets. So you get a 1 here, a 1 there, a 1 here, and it looks like it already did a 1 on that side. But just in case if it didn't, just hit OK. So you get a 1 on those sides as well, and then you have that piece completed, and you just give it a color.